All right, my BIBLEin365 brothers and sisters, we've arrived. And folks, have we ever arrived? We are at the book of Zechariah, and this book is the bomb, okay? I'm going to tell you, I love this book. This is one of the premier books in Bible prophecy. And if you love Bible prophecy, you are going to love this incredible work. What an amazing book. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You have to go to jamescadiz.com. You've got to go through my teachings on the book of Zechariah. I've done a lot of them, especially as of late. I've been going through Zechariah 12. I've been going through Zechariah 14. As a matter of fact, on the James Cadiz YouTube channel, I've recently done some of these because we are watching some of the Zechariah prophecies come to life. Now, what I thought I would do is, instead of getting into all the background of Zechariah and sort of do a breakdown of all the chapters and stuff, I've done that in many of the videos that I've done for you before. I want to point out to you some of my favorite prophecies that are in the book of Zechariah. Now, when I say favorite prophecies, I don't mean favorite in the sense that good things are actually happening as they're being predicted, okay? Because some of the things that you see predicted in Zechariah are not good things when they happen, but they always lead to good things. So one of my favorite passages in Zechariah is one of the passages that tells us what's actually going on right now. It explains why the craziness. Notice the rise in anti-Semitism in these last days. The Bible tells us that in the last days, we will see this insane rise in anti-Semitism. And folks, from the Candace Owenses of the world to the everybody else's that are going into these crazy anti-Israel rants, the Bible told us this would happen. And more than ever, we are supposed to stand behind Israel. This is a very spiritual thing. Look what it says in Zechariah chapter 12, verse 1. I'll read it to you. It says, "The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem" what? "A cup of trembling unto all the people round about." In other words, a cup of drunkenness. Jerusalem will be an intoxicating subject to people when they shall be in the siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And notice this, "And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it." That explains it. That explains why we are seeing the rise in anti-Semitism that we are seeing, because in the last days we know that will happen. But here's the thing. I don't ever like to read Zechariah chapter 12, especially verse 3, without reading verse 9. Let me read it to you. "And it shall come to pass in that day that" what? "That I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem." I think that's why President Trump is treating Israel well, because there are people, faithful people, godly people around him. Dare I even say Charlie? That are telling him, you better be good to Jerusalem, because if you don't, God will curse America. And I believe that God blessing America has been predicated upon the actions of kindness that President Trump has shown to Israel. This is Zechariah 12. And then Zechariah 14. Folks, I love Zechariah 14 because when we talk about in the last days, Jesus touching his foot down on the Mount of Olives and the mountain splitting into a valley and him coming down and through the east gate, all of that is predicated upon the content that we read in Zechariah chapter 14. It is incredible, and I love it. Let me just do this. Let me read verse 4. This is the verse where we talk about his foot touching down in the Mount of Olives splitting. It says this in Zechariah chapter 14, verse 4, "And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north and half toward the south." Oh, that's a great one. And folks, I've done some great teaching on this. We have it on the James Cadiz YouTube channel. You've got it on jamescadiz.com. You could go there and grab it. Lots of good stuff. You are going to love Zechariah. Zechariah tells us so much more about the day we're living in now than any other day in human history. And it's incredible. You're going to love it. I hope, by the way, that you take some really good notes for Bible questions, because yes, we've got a Q&A coming up this month, but we have another Q&A coming up. And that Q&A, actually, you know what? No, the Q&A that I was thinking about was last month. Guess what? The one that's going on this month is going to be live with me in person. That's if you're going to AmFest. Yes, I just spilled the beans. I'm going to be at AmFest, folks. I'm going to be taking questions live. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I love you guys. And by the way, let me just simply say this. As we approach the end of the year, can I just simply say that I am so honored to be a pastor that is in your life, influencing you. I'm proud and honored to be the advisory pastor here at BIBLEin365, to be in the life of Charlie and Erica Kirk, and to be a part of this great ministry to give you great and wonderful information that can only be found in the scriptures. It's not me, it's the word of God. And let me simply say this: Merry Christmas, and be looking forward, because we have many happy new years ahead of us, because those years are filled with Christ. I love you guys. God bless you. And by the way, keep fighting the good fight.